Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, November 11, 2017, 11:34 p.m. Birmingham. Topic is the last blog I did talked about where we are today and how this country is so screwed up with the rest of the world, how we're killing babies before they're born, how tens of thousands of gays come out of the closet. Now they taken over Palm Springs and other places, and in other countries have taken positions of power, and governors and mayors of towns. That's okay. I mean, look, I sinned as much as they have. And a sin is a sin. God doesn't measure a sin in the way you and I will measure sin. If I tell a little white lie, even if it's for the better good of something, that's a sin. And I'm not sure I'd put it in the same category as murder, but murder's a sin. Sin, S-I-N, so sin. But I have multiple. If I think about I'm going to choke the crap out of him and kill him, then I sinned. I murdered someone in my mind. I want to say this. I've had a lot of employees in my past. After I had my businesses from 1977 to 2013, when I got rid of the last, had a lot of employees, average of 11 per store, and I had 6 stores, and my wife had one. And then while I was let one of them, in fact, a gay was my manager for umpteen years in one location, the last store I had. I went off and started building homes for someone, and I built 44 homes in one place. I built 8 in another, and I prepared the land, developed it, and got it ready for 8 more. And in fact, developed both pieces of property for homes, and I'm hopefully going to do another one soon, 15 houses. That's beside the point. Point is, I have a lot of crews out there that'll be working for me. And each of these crews come with anywhere between 6 people, and I say 6, between 4 and up to about 8 per crew. And I may have at any given time about in between 12 and 16 crews. I'm doing a house and starting one every 18 days when I get rolling. Point is, every single employee I've ever had, I have witness to. Every single employee. And I've never had a complaint but one time. In my main store, my best store ever, the oil company called me and said, "We got a complaint that you're handing out hate literature to Jews and Christians." And I said, "Wait a minute now, I'm a Christian, and my best friend is Jewish." And so when they saw the literature, they said, "Well, somebody was mistaken, I guess." I said, "Yeah, they were. It was atheists that complained." I stand by God's chosen people no matter what. No ifs, ands, and buts. May not like what a lot of them do, but I'm not judging them. Just like I don't judge any of my gay managers, and like they don't judge me for my sins. Sin is sin, guys. Everyone, I don't care how good you are, you have to come to Christ in order to see God. Christ said, "No one sees the Father but by me." And when you start at John 3:16, start at 16 and just read all the verses behind there. You'll see a number of verses that every one of them confirms Jesus is the only way. There's no other. But I witnessed to all my employees. And let me say one more thing. I had one, he's He's American. He's a white guy. He had an accident on a motorcycle many years back, and he had a broken bone so bad in his leg that it was shortened by about an inch and a half, and never had it taken care of. So he walked with a pretty bad limp. And I was witnessing to people, like I always did. I've talked about witnessing. Where are you going to go when you die? But one day I was out there, and there was a huge thunderstorm coming up. And we were standing on the pumps in front of the service station, and my elbows were propped up on the pump. And Chris, my employee, was sitting next to me on the next pump. And that lightning hit, thunder came up, and he jumped back and finally put his arms back on the pump. In another second, I slapped the crap out of that pump. He jumped off of it again. I said, man, what would you do if that lightning had hit you? Where would you have gone, Chris? I guess I'd be in trouble. Let me tell you what, about a week later, basically we're out there talking. I had a lot of guys. We're out there talking, and he had some problems, and I was trying to help him through them. But here comes a thunderstorm, and I slapped that pump, and he jumped up and said, I'd have gone to heaven that time. He just told me by that statement that he had accepted Christ. People fear what's here. Those things that's flying around out here that we call aliens and UFOs, they're none other. God says there's nothing new under the sun. That's from the day of Adam and Eve till our day. There's nothing new. What's here has been here since that day. There's no UFOs from other planets. There are not. They're from here. Their technology has surpassed ours, and they did a long time ago when they had the books of Enoch. Fallen angels have the technology. And those who were able and lucky to get some of the books of Enoch acquired a lot of that technology. Even though these fallen angels taught that technology to man, they didn't teach it all. But God instructed Enoch to write a book for each year of his life. Well, Enoch was 365 years old. How could he write a book from 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 year old? It's simple. God gave him that knowledge. An angel instructed Enoch everything to write, and Enoch had like a magic pen, and the pen moved itself. And that's how he wrote the books, in a short order. Well, all those books aren't accounted for. In fact, the best that I think are accounted for are 4. 3, 2.5 that we have, maybe 3. The 4th, probably in the 5th, maybe even the 6th is at the Vatican, hidden away. And I think Hitler had one of them. This is where he got the technology for the anti-gravity saucers that he was building, and or traded technology for other stuff. But these things are sitting just outside our view. God is not permitting them to come here yet. They'll come here after the church is removed. Otherwise, they would have already came to the surface and landed and said, here we are. We're the ones that brought you here millions of years ago. And they'll have people believing that. But God won't permit them to come here until he removes the church. And remember that great lie. The great lie. Many are going to believe the great lie. Many will be deceived, even the very elect, if God hadn't intervened and cut those days short. That's what's out there. That's what's just hovering over us right now, just waiting for its chance. And God's okay to come down. You got 7 years. Jody Wolf, Expoz.